Pat, thanks so much for your time today. Really exciting time for growth at the moment for your company, particularly in Asia Pacific, but also across the world, isn't it?
It really is. We look at Asia Pacific, we have a pretty significant presence in some key markets, about 275 hotels in the Australia, New Zealand market, 54 hotels in Japan, 28 in India, and now actually some significant growth for us coming in China as well.
And a recent acquisition, how's that gone?
Yeah, we just bought a brand in the United States in the extended stay segment, 240 hotels, a brand called WoodSpring Suites. We love the segment. It had the highest RevPAR growth in that segment in the United States. And that as a brand, WoodSpring as a brand has grown about 48% in gross room revenue, about 25% in number of units in the last 3 years. And it was really a brand we thought by bringing it onto the Choice Hotels platform, we could help scale it. It also exposes us to a new ownership community. So these are well-capitalized developers who aren't just building 1 or 2 hotels, but building them 20 at a time. So we love the pace of growth that we see in the future.
And in terms of growth of that brand, can you see that brand coming out of the US in terms of into the Asian market or into the European market?
Sure. So I think when you get into the Asia market, it's extended stay sort of blurs the line a little bit with the service department business. But we do see a lot of that opportunity in the Asia market. And it may be a brand that we eventually bring to that market.
And you run Asia Pacific out of Australia. That's a lot of companies run it out of Asia, but you've got a great team in Melbourne, don't you?
We do. So the team there has had a lot of experience with the franchising model. So if you recall, we are a pure play franchisor, and figuring out how to work with that franchise model with key partners in some of the other markets in Asia. Our team in Australia really knows how to do that, and so we're pretty excited about them as a leadership team.
And given the growth of management opportunities in some markets like the US, and some of your competitors are actually seeing a lot of growth on the management side, are you still looking at potentially doing something in the future on a global level, even on a minor stage?
We haven't really had the need to get into the management side of the house. In Europe in particular, though, you really have to be able to partner with management companies, or we would eventually maybe potentially look to buy one if that made sense for us, because to fuel the growth in the franchising model, we may need to be in the management company business. But for today, we just partner with some great management companies, and that seems to work for us.
And in terms of your growth, which markets are you the most confident about going forward at the moment?
So right now, we obviously have a lot of growth opportunity in the U.S. That's where the vast majority of our hotels are. We like Europe, in particular markets like the Netherlands and Spain, where we don't have a lot of product. We see new growth opportunity there. We see growth in the U.K. and Germany as well. So we really like those specific markets.
And you've only been in the role for a few months, and what's your little report card for us so far? How's it going?
It's going well. So I've been with the company for 12 years, but only been CEO for 5 months. And in that 5 months, we've bought a brand and we launched an entirely new central reservation system, which is based in the cloud, which is really an investment for us in the future. Our old system, like many hotel companies, was 30 years old. So putting something that is cloud first and mobile first as the shopping and booking engine, I think is really going to give us a leg up on the competition.
And what are a couple of your hot trends for the industry to watch out for at the moment? Technology going at a rapid pace, but what are a couple of little trends that you like to see at the moment?
Yeah, so there's some really different innovation going on just in the business model. So if you think about the soft brand idea, Choice Hotels was the first major chain to launch a soft brand. Today we have 200 hotels in that brand. It's called the Ascend Collection, and it's got 50 in the pipeline. We added and opened actually over 50 Ascend Collections last year. So it's really seeing explosive growth, and we see that as a great growth opportunity for us around the world.
And how stringent are you as a company when it comes to standards? Obviously, when you have a soft brand, obviously the standards are driven up higher to make sure those hotels fit into that collection. How stringent are your standards now?
So they're stringent from the standpoint of it has to be an upscale hotel. We also are looking for not cookie cutter, but more boutique or historic hotels. And we see a lot of historical or adaptive reuse going on, particularly in the European market. So from the standpoint of how we sort of regulate that, a lot of it is the consumer is telling today with TripAdvisor and other online reviews, the consumer is actually helping us help our owners make sure that they're meeting the guest needs.
And a lot of companies now are growing in the mid-scale segment or growing in the luxury segment. We've seen a lot of that in the past few months. You're very strong in the mid-scale segment. Would you look to go any higher in the brand spectrum?
Yeah, so we've actually spent the last 5 years fortifying our brands that are already in the mid-scale segment. So in the U.S. in particular, we own 25% of the U.S. market share in mid-scale hotels. And if you look at our Comfort Inn brand there, we've completely rejuvenated that brand. So we currently have 300 in the pipeline. Most of that is new construction. And we also last year opened more than one hotel a week in that brand, in the Comfort brand. And so we feel pretty excited about sort of the growth we have in that segment. We're also looking to grow in upscale. So in the United States, we have a brand called Cambria. There's 38 of those open. And that's really focused on that limited service upscale segment, sort of, again, a lifestyle hotel. But that's targeted really at the top 50 U.S. RevPAR markets right now. We're currently in 38 of those with some exciting growth. Last year we opened in New Orleans, LAX. We just opened in Nashville, right in the downtown areas. And so we're pretty excited about the health and the growth of that brand as well.